Welcome to the Playbook for Amazon podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Lieber, and the goal of this podcast is to share what's working today that's helping my company, Turnkey Product Management, sell over 8 figures per year on Amazon for our clients. We will share with you the actionable steps, systems, and playbook that you can plug into your business to boost your sales on Amazon. Let's go. In today's episode, we talk about how to qualify for Amazon Prime without using Amazon's FBA warehouses. And it's with a lesser known program called Seller Fulfilled Prime. And this is an option that could be an excellent fit for Amazon sellers who want to fulfill their own orders, but want the benefits of the Amazon Prime sticker. So if you're in that situation where you've avoided Amazon FBA and really avoided Amazon almost completely, then you might want to consider this program because it can give you that Prime badge, but you can ship the products from your own warehouse or a third-party warehouse. And so even if you are using FBA and you're not happy with your margins, you might want to consider this as well, because you might be more profitable shipping from your own warehouse or a third-party warehouse and skipping the whole logistics of shipping all the way to Amazon FBA. So let's dive in. I'll really cover the details of who it's a fit for and how to make this a reality for your business. So let's dive in. Amazon's FBA warehouses are usually the option that we recommend for most companies that are selling on Amazon, because most customers that shop on Amazon want to buy Prime items. Sometimes when they actually search for items, if they're searching for a supplement or any product, they'll actually check a box that says Prime eligible items only. And so certain products aren't a great fit for FBA. And so we wanted to cover another option for you out there for companies that wanted to consider, that there's other ways to get that Prime eligible badge. And so some of the reasons that you may not be using FBA, maybe have avoided it, or it's just not a cost-effective idea, is because your item is too large, or maybe it's really odd shape. It's really long, or it's really wide, or it's really heavy. Really heavy products can do that as well. One example is furniture, right? If you're selling couches or huge, pieces, mattresses, something that's really big is going to be super expensive to ship. And, it may not be cost effective for you to ship it from Amazon's FBA warehouse, from your supplier or from your third-party warehouse to Amazon's FBA warehouse. And then they have to then ship it when a customer orders from FBA back to the customer's house. So it's too many ways to ship it, and all those shipping costs add up and really can hurt your margins. But that's the most common reason that people shy away from it. But we have a solution that you may want to consider. Another reason you may avoid FBA is that you already have a really efficient shipping operation in your own warehouse. So either you own the warehouse, or you found a really great third-party warehouse that they just have really good operations. They can ship on time, they can ship super fast, and hopefully they can get you really good shipping rates where it's really cost effective for you, and it's cheaper than using FBA. And then the last reason is, you may be selling on so many different platforms and you just want more control over your inventory, and you don't want to have to confuse it by having Amazon's FBA warehouses housing inventory and having to manage that. So maybe you just want more control over your inventory in one place, which is in your third-party warehouse. Those are some of the reasons you may want to avoid it. Now, if any of those reasons are kind of your situation, then you may want to consider what's called Seller Fulfilled Prime. So what this is basically your own warehouse has to sign up, and you will get approved by Amazon that you can deliver basically just as fast as Amazon's warehouses in their Prime windows. And if you can show that you can do that, you can get approved. And so even though you're not shipping from FBA's warehouse, you're shipping from your third-party warehouse, you can still get that wonderful Prime eligible badge, and customers won't know the difference, right? They just see, okay, it's Prime eligible, perfect. And they're not going to notice whether it's coming from FBA or not. As long as they get it on time, then you're good to go. And so this is a really big opportunity for companies in that situation, because now you can take a lot more advantage of Amazon. Because right now you might be selling on Amazon without the Prime badge if you're not using FBA, and it's just merchant fulfilled, and it's being shipped from your third party warehouse. But what's probably the case is that you don't have the Prime badge, and so a lot of those customers are going to not choose you, or they might filter you out, and you're shipping with promising a week to deliver, and maybe you are shipping it really fast, and that's awesome, but right now you're not showing up as Prime, and so that can be a huge drawback and really be hurting your sales. So if you can find a way to get approved for this program and get that Prime badge, if you were already selling on Amazon and didn't have the Prime badge, and then now all of a sudden you do have the Prime badge, your growth, you're just going to see an instant growth in your sales because now you're Prime eligible. It's tough to say what that percentage might be, but we've seen cases where it can be as high as 50% growth in sales just for having that Prime badge. It will differ for everybody, but you should definitely see some sort of a boost, and hopefully it'll be a really big one. So why is Amazon doing this program? Well, number one, Amazon currently has to they're having to buy and manage so many FBA warehouses, and they're running out of space, right? And so they have to keep buying more warehouses, and it's a lot to manage. And so that's why they love this option, because if they can have someone else's warehouse doing all the work for them and doing the shipments on time and following their guidelines and rules, then Amazon doesn't have to worry about that. So I think that's why Amazon is encouraging this, because now it opens up the floodgates to all these other companies that maybe avoided Amazon FBA before. And so this is a really, really big opportunity. It's been around for a while, but just wanted to shed some light on it for those customers that haven't heard about this. So what are the steps? So you have to get approved. So, and check the latest guidelines, because, Amazon's always changing things. But as of the latest that we've seen, when you apply for it, you're going to have to go through a trial period before officially qualifying for it, because you have to prove to Amazon that you can be a Prime shipper and that you can deliver on time, right? And so you do need a professional seller account, and you need to be eligible for Amazon's premium shipping program. And you can register on the Seller Fulfilled Prime page. And so we'll put a link to that in the show notes, and you just sign up to start your trial. Then you can change your settings to enable Prime delivery, and then you enroll those items one by one in Seller Fulfilled Prime. So during the trial, you must complete, at this time, latest we've seen, is 200 Prime trial orders. And you need to have an on-time delivery rate of at least 99% for Prime trial orders, and products, for products that must be shipped same day. And the use of buying shipping services for at least 98.5% of Prime trial orders, and you need to have a cancellation rate of less than 0.5% for Prime trial orders. It's really, really important that you need to communicate with your supplier, with your warehouse beforehand, and really make sure that they're aware of the guidelines. So step one is make sure that your warehouse that you're using is on board with this and is confident that they can meet these guidelines. Not all warehouses can do this, and so it is very important that you make sure you communicate with them, set the guidelines, and make sure they understand all of these sort of guidelines for this program, and especially during that trial period, they need to nail it, right? You need to tell them how important this is, and so that's really, really important. So you go through the trial period with your supplier or with your warehouse, and hopefully after that trial period goes well, you meet all the guidelines, and boom, you're approved for Prime eligibility. And if Amazon's happy with your results and you satisfied their requirements, then you're good to go. And if you do happen to fail, I believe that you can reset the trial period and try again at a later date. But yeah, so this is definitely something for you guys to consider. There's a few other specifics that Amazon requires to stay compliant, like buying Amazon shipping labels and some different things. So definitely make sure you read all of the requirements and make sure that, this is going to be a bit of an undertaking, and especially working with your warehouse, but it's really on them to do it. So just make sure everything's set up and dialed in before you do this trial period, and just do your best, and hopefully it works out, because it can really change your business for the long run if you can get this program. And another option that I haven't mentioned is that you might be using Amazon FBA's warehouses right now, but maybe, the inventory storage and the shipping rates, are adding up, and you're not profitable, or as profitable as you'd like. And so it may be worth it for you to at least compare the cost structure of, maybe what if you switched back to seller fulfilled Prime away from Amazon FBA, and you found, that warehouse that's super cost effective and is able to do this. And if you did that, you might actually be more profitable by switching to seller fulfilled Prime. But you need to crunch your own numbers and make sure that those numbers add up. You need to add in all the fulfillment costs, pick and pack fees, what's the cost of the labels, and compare it. So again, this doesn't make sense for all businesses, certainly probably not even most businesses, but this is really just, I wanted to shed this tip and this light for the people out there that are in this situation, and it's worth, looking into pricing it out, talking to your warehouse, or maybe even finding a new warehouse that can do it. And so that's what I would recommend that you do. And if you do have any success with this or considering it, definitely I would love to hear from you and reach out to us. You can just email us at hello@turnkeyproductmanagement.com, and we'd love to hear any success stories, or if this ended up being the route that you've taken. So thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you later. Thank you for tuning in. So hopefully you learned a lot from that episode. Do your product sound like it might be a fit for seller fulfilled Prime? If so, make sure to check your metrics, see if you're eligible, check out the requirements, check with your warehouse. One thing to do is to actually ask your warehouse, hey, have you ever done seller fulfilled Prime for another, client or seller in their warehouse, right? Warehouses typically have, dozens or hundreds of different brands that they're, storing inventory for. And so what would be most ideal is just find a warehouse that's already doing seller fulfilled Prime, and that they're set up for it, and take it from there, right? And so if you just take that step first, then okay, this is something that's probably worth really looking into. So that's it for that. And we love it if you could leave us a review on iTunes. It only takes 2 minutes, and it really helps other sellers find our show, and we really appreciate that. And if you want to find more about how Turnkey Product Management can help your business scale on Amazon and save you time, or if you just want some of our free trainings or standard operating procedures, you can visit our website, turnkeyproductmanagement.com, or follow us on social media at Turnkey Product Management. That'll do it for today. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.